Would y'all fight somebody else on steroids? No?
I'm not fighting nobody, period.
I think if you watch that first fight and you see Canelo hit him with everything he had, and Triple G ain't flinch. Like,
well, Triple G's a machine, yeah.
You gotta
He's
go
never
back.
flinched.
Gotta go back to the drawing board.
Because listen. I understand you hitting people sounds good, but getting hit
sounds terrible.
That's the shit.
But what if you were on steroids? Would you be comfortable with fighting somebody?
At some point, I got to get hit, and that's what I don't want to feel.
So no matter what, you just don't want it.
Like, I'm not going to even pretend that I'm never going to get hit. If I get hit, I'm done.
So that's just like in the NBA, you're going to get dunked on.
Yes.
At some point. You're going to get crossed over at some point.
And I don't want that.
It's inevitable.
I don't want it.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. I'm Pierce Simpson. Today's episode will be jam-packed like it is always, and today we have a full set. I'm joined here by Complex Sports editor, Mr. Adam Caparel. Cap, how you feeling being like the only one that we'll get to in a second once we start?
Being the only one.
Feel good?
Someone stick out.
Boy, the tables turned.
Like a minority?
Yeah, welcome to our world.
Thank you.
Next to Adam Caparel, we got Seattle Seahawks offensive tackle, Mr. Duane Brown. Duane, thank you for joining us today.
Welcome.
Hey, no problem. We got to get in the weight room after seeing Duane Brown.
I got
exactly.
ways to go.
Next to Duane Brown, friend of the show all week, Mr. Terrell Owens. I see you, T.O. You dished that Lakers city. I got on you yesterday about the Lakers city.
Oh, good.
I'm with it. T.O. gonna fight me by the end of the segment. And then next to me, what do you want me to describe you as? You got on me about calling T.O. Hall of Famer.
Say future Hall of Famer.
My God, see, that's what I'm talking about.
It ain't gonna happen, but I like to hear it though.
Sounds good.
I know it sounds good. I just need a better title.
Future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Gilbert Arenas. Okay, I like it. I'm with it.
I'm
Fellas,
gonna get killed in the comments. You ain't gonna make close to the Hall of Fame.
your own host is saying that you won't make the Hall of, which is wow.
You can go visit the Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. That's how you feeling today. All right. I'm with it. But we mentioned today having a jam-packed show. First off, we're going to talk about whether or not race and speed is hurting draft prospect Lamar Jackson. In a recent Eric Adelson Yahoo Sports column, the case is made that Louisville quarterback Lamar Jackson, who won the 2016 Heisman Trophy, is being downgraded by NFL teams because he's both black and incredibly fast. The quote was, and from critics, short, a little bit slight, clearly not the throw other guys are. The accuracy isn't there. Don't wait to make the position change. Mind you, Lamar Jackson's 6'3", over 200 pounds, and they say the accuracy, meanwhile, Josh Allen threw for 56% in the Mountain West. So accuracy, you can make the case for some of the other top quarterbacks there. Other criticisms came, but Lamar Jackson said, I'm strictly a quarterback. Whoever likes me as a quarterback, that's where I'm going. And Lamar Thomas actually commented on the situation, said the elephant in the room, it boils down to other guys aren't being questioned the same way. So, fellas, I ask everybody on set, what's the bias that's fueling this issue between Lamar Jackson and what position he'll play at the next level? What do we think?
I mean, I think still race is playing this, but you guys can answer this better than I can.
What do you
Here's like that.
Here's what's funny though. It's like when he said it, we all looked like, wait, are we fine with that? Oh, okay, it's cool.
I mean, real talk though, right?
Yeah. There's obviously a race factor that plays into the scenario. We see it time and time again where these top high-profile quarterbacks, specifically of color, are asked to change their position, asked whether or not they're mobile quarterbacks, when in fact, they don't even run. People are asking if Jameis Winston is a mobile quarterback. Have you seen the gut on Jameis Winston? He's not going anywhere, so you don't even need to ask whether or not he's a mobile quarterback.
When they said he's small at 6'3".
6'3".
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is what, 6'1"?
6'2". Yeah,
that's right. But you see who's saying it. This is Bill Polian. This is a guy that's been very critical of me, especially when I was getting ready to go into the Hall of Fame. He had some very discouraging remarks against me. But again, he's a former GM for a reason, just for these comments alone. So again, as we just discussed, I mean, race is obviously the elephant in the room. When you think about black quarterbacks, and especially Lamar Jackson, this guy is trying to be successful in a career and at a position that guys before him have paved the way. Yeah. You think of the Donovan McNabbs, the Randall Cunninghams. I think, again, it's discouraging to continue this conversation when you know that this is where it is and what it is. But I think Lamar has the right attitude.
Of course.
Be who you're going to be. Yeah. Despite the critics, naysayers or what have you, go out there and put your best foot forward, and I think things will happen for him.
Yeah, I thought it was admirable that he didn't run the 40-yard dash at his pro day to not fuel the speculation of people's like, oh, he's fast.
Exactly. I mean, that's a known fact. That's a given fact. But as you said, you have other guys with less passing accuracy and all these other things, and go on to have a position at quarterback. Why can't he do it?
Of course.
Because
Duane, what do you think about this scenario and everything going on? Because you block for one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he's also African American.
Yeah, I think it's blatant, like racism. I think it's you look at him and the great things that he's done. Like he's done some incredible things in the last couple of years of his collegiate career in a tough division in the ACC. It's like you're trying to nitpick and find everything you can to say why he's not going to be that great at the next level. And you look at the other guys who've been pretty good players, and you're hyping them. You're hyping the stuff that's even mediocre. Yeah. You're hyping it about how they can improve on that. You know, the things that they're not that great at, well, they can improve on that. Right. The things that he's great at, well, he doesn't do this as well. Right. And it's like, why is that? I think it's not just about his color, but he's unapologetic about his color. Yeah. You know, you got some guys that are African American, but they are blue collared, you know, don't really get into anything off the field. The company they keep might be different. He's different. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's from the hood. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, some guys don't want that as the face of their franchise. They get scared about what that could possibly bring. Yeah. But
well, you think about what Cam Newton is doing over there with Carolina. I mean, he's a very outspoken guy on a number of issues. Yeah. And I think if he could take a page out of anybody's book, it can be Cam Newton. Yeah. Especially at the way that he approaches the game and the way he's being true to himself.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't got any trouble. Like Lamar Jackson hasn't gotten any trouble. So, I mean, but that's what, you know, that's how some of them think.
But that's the problem is, you know, you're knocking Jackson for the same thing Allen's, you know, talking about they're inaccurate. You know, one is Jackson's thrown 3,600, you know, passing yards, while the other one's thrown 1,800.
Exactly.
In a weak ass conference.
In a weak conference.
And you're getting hyped. I mean, but that's football for you.
And you say about
that's football. That's football. It's like they want to.
They talk about him being small, but like you haven't seen him just get folded up like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like when he does take off running, he's breaking tackles. Yeah, he's not a small guy.
Exactly. And then also the size thing. You have a guy, Baker Mayfield, who they're trying to peg to your Jets at number 3, and he's 5'10", if that. So they don't question his size.
They're just, you know, they're trying anything to. That's what I said. It's like a football thing. Like, I don't know, how do you take a guy who's been playing quarterback his whole life and say, all right, we're going to make you a receiver now? Yeah. Like, what?
Yeah,
like, how does that happen?
He's a Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback.
Exactly.
Deemed the best player in college football at that position.
Yeah, I mean, they got Bill Polian. I mean, he looks like a racist. I mean, his statements say racist.
Yeah. He probably says nigga a lot.
Again, like you said, I mean, to say the guy is short, a little bit slight, and clearly not the thrower as the other guys. Yeah. First of all, short? I mean, the guy's 6'3". Like, what do you mean?
Exactly. No,
like anything to keep him or push this guy down on the draft chart in the minds of other owners or GMs, because I guess he's revered as, a polished GM or somebody with some credibility just because.
You make an excellent point, because even Mel Kiper was questioning whether or not he talks about Lamar Jackson having accuracy issues, but when he's questioned about not criticizing Josh Allen, he just says, oh, numbers are overrated. So there's definitely something that they're not addressing. Right? It makes no sense.
It's blatant.
Yeah, it's blatant.
It's blatant, man.
It's blatant. But
you don't need people like that on TV.
Yeah, right.
You really don't. You really don't need people like that on TV.
You don't. Duane, you made the transition from tight end to offensive tackle. How tough was it making that move at a higher level?
That was because he couldn't catch.
Damn lie.
See, now you feeling how I'm feeling about the one-on-one. T.O. take a shot for them.
Fake news?
My first reception, 33-yard touchdown. With 15 yak yards.
Oh, talking on
that. You know, so it wasn't that.
He said that's the only way. He said, yeah, because they switched.
I was a third tight end on the depth chart when I got there. But it was pretty tough. Yeah. I mean, I was a defensive end tight end in high school. I always played skill positions throughout my life. But my first game at offensive tackle was against Mario Williams. Yeah. And I moved to tackle because I gained 30 pounds after my freshman year. And I was about 275. The guys we had at tackle were around 340, 350, and they didn't feel like they were as mobile. It was a lot of guys telling me to move to tackle. You know, I think D'Angelo Hall was like the first one when I got there that said, I mean, you move inside, man, you can make a lot of money. Right. I didn't want to hear that shit. You know, I was like, I'm catching these touchdowns. So I'm not trying to block. I'm not trying to block. I want the glory. You know what I mean? But I just couldn't stop gaining weight. And I mean, I had good feet, played basketball. You know, so. It worked out pretty well for me.
Yeah, I was going to ask that too. With you playing those skill positions and then you going to transitioning to the offensive line position. By you playing those skill positions, playing basketball, being athletic, did that help you with that transition, at the tackle?
Tremendously. I think you look at the edge rushers nowadays. You got your Von Millers, guys like that, the Davion Clowneys, guys that are super athletic, and it's not good enough to just be big anymore. I think a lot of the guys who are top tier tackles played another position before they moved there, because you have to be able to mirror those guys and stay in front of them.
Gil, if Eddie Jordan came to you and said, I want you to switch from being point guard to small forward, how would you react? I guess that'd be the answer right there.
Am I going to still get the same 30 shots?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. Nah, I'm good.
No, you good?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Ball in my hand, bro.
Because those 30 shots probably affect your payday,
Yeah.
wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of paydays, Nerlens Noel might have had the worst contract year of all time. We're going to talk about the ramifications of his recent drug failure. This is the pull-up. Fellas, Nerlens Noel's disappointing tenure with the Mavericks might have come to a close. After failing his third positive marijuana test, he's resulted in a mandatory 5-game suspension. The NBA announced the suspension on Tuesday. Mind you, Nerlens Noel has been in Rick Carlisle's doghouse the entire season. This is a contract year for him. And reports state that this offseason he turned down a 4-year, $70 million contract, which he will not see at all this offseason. So heading into this offseason where you have a drug suspension, you have the incident where he went and got a hot dog during a game and got caught by the media, and turning down $70 million. What if
you gotta be a motherfucking dummy? I'm sorry, you gotta be a fucking dummy.
You gotta be,
to get busted for weed in the NBA.
Yeah, of course.
3 times. That means he's been tested 3 times. There's only 4 tests. You got busted on all 3 so far.
Yeah.
Like there's
I don't know how that works. So
okay,
how does that work?
So the NBA program is, let's just say you do smoke weed, right?
Right.
A smart player would just say, hey, I'm an addict. Call up the Players Association, say, I'm an addict, put me in a program. When you're in a program, none of what you see goes against you. So there won't be no reports of it. All you have to be is lower than a 70% THC level. So you can basically still technically smoke weed during
the season
because you're an addict.
Yeah.
You just have to be working on getting better.
And just be below that threshold.
Yeah, so your test don't count like this one is. So you have to be a stupid person to be sitting here getting suspended and caught. And that's why you don't really hear about this anymore, because players just got smart and say, if I'm a smoker, I'm just an addict.
Yeah.
I'm just an addict. Like how are you getting caught on your third?
Wow, man.
After the first test, my hey, I'm an addict.
I'm an addict, right.
I'm putting me in a program, whatever. And then if you get caught, let's say you're over the 70%, your first one, you get 3 more months added to your time in the program.
So long story
short, you can sit in that motherfucker for years.
And the swerve too, you said before you get tested by the league to be the addict, whatever, you smoke and get as much THC.
Yeah, but that's what I said.
The threshold is even higher.
That's yeah. But so it's like 70. Like you just stay.
Wow.
70, yeah. So you can't get
there are loopholes with it.
Big time loophole.
Right. He's just like that being stupid.
You just stupid motherfucker right here.
Yeah. So Nerlens is
double stupid.
Very
he
stupid.
lost like 60.
So you lost 60.
Yeah. So he lost the millions of dollars this offseason. He signed a 1-year, $4.2 million qualifying offer this offseason, and the 5-game suspension will result in him losing $144,400. So it's just a lot of L's for Nerlens Noel this season. What's the worst advice that an agent or advisor has given you?
You know what's so funny? I don't even know if it's a.
You think it's a him thing?
Yeah, with Andy Miller.
Yeah.
Andy Miller, got him, that $70 million contract on 8 and 5. So they were basically going to pay you on potential.
Yeah.
8 and 5. And you think you're max? I don't know who told him he was a max player, averaging 8 and 5 rebounds, but $70 million for 4 years, bro. You should have signed that.
Now, his weed may have been late. Oh, he ain't.
Nah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like someone is in your.
Good point. Good point.
His weed is
Good
late.
point.
It gotta be, bro.
Something like
Bro,
there's no way.
He's not thinking logically.
There was no logic. So you fire Andy Miller, and then Dan Fagan, because he went from Andy to Dan, and Dan got him that 1-year deal with the Mavericks, and then from there he goes to Richie Paul.
1 year.
But 8 and 5, and you got $70 million on an 8 and 5 contract
it's
for your first.
17 a year.
Like you get that, and I don't know who was in his ear, but I mean that's money he can't get back.
That's crazy.
Duane, we mentioned Nerlens Noel having 8 and 5, right? Very pedestrian numbers in the NBA.
Yeah. Pedestrian. That's bottom line bullshit.
And for that to result in a 4-year,
7 foot tall.
Yeah, exactly. So for that to result in a 4-year, $70 million contract. You look in football, that's top dollar in the NFL. So like, how do you feel with the comparisons in salary? It's just ridiculous.
I ain't gonna hate, man. Much respect to the NBA guys. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough to see it though. I mean, you know you have to, and you can get that contract and miss 70% of those games.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Which you're getting all of that.
Huh?
You miss all of them.
You miss all of them.
You miss all of them.
You gonna get that. You gonna get that.
Soon as you do this,
Son,
I'm done, baby.
We got to play all of our games to get that.
Of course.
And if you're not, you get hurt, you're not as productive as you want, you're out of here.
Yeah.
And all you got is that guaranteed money, which is not even 50% of your contract.
Yeah.
and then on top of that, to try to juice up the contract, you try to throw in some incentives.
Yep. Right.
You have some incentive-laden deals in there.
That's not realistic.
The pie.
That's what I said. It's not real.
You got guys that got field goal blocks. You get 2 field goal blocks, you get $5 million in your contract, and you're not even on a field goal block team.
But now, shit
like that.
Right.
But you mentioned,
oh my God.
You mentioned the incentives, right? So Rob Gronkowski was due for a large incentive if he reached the catch and receiving yards threshold this past offseason. The Patriots set him in the final game of the season. There were reports that they did that so he wouldn't get the money. Do those type of things happen?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why NBA players, we don't do incentive deals like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because
go ahead.
Because you get screwed towards the end, especially if you're a losing team. You're a losing team. You got this. If he averages 20 points, he's at 19.9, and I got to give him an extra $5 million. Oh hell no!
Yep.
Put him in for 2 minutes, sub his ass out.
Yeah. Or there's situations where if a guy plays a certain percentage of plays, and then if that guy is going into the playoffs, toward the end, like you said, they'll sit that guy.
Yeah.
That's great.
Because if he plays a certain number of plays, he's going to reach that.
It's all about money. Like, have you guys ever thought about this? Because I did the math. See, the difference between NBA and NFL, we don't practice. We just play games.
Yeah, shoot around.
You guys practice.
Practice.
And play. What if you guys had one practice a week in 2 games? Because you guys practice like your games anyway, because you got to get.
But here's what's effed up with the Thursday night football. That's kind of how it happens.
But I'm just saying, but if you just took away practice, so now scoring goes up because you guys can't focus on each other defensively. But if you guys like saved your bodies in practice and just played 2 actual games, the money doubles because you guys are getting paid off of 16 games.
Well, I think it's different when you got you're talking about experience in the league, because I don't think a first, second year guy can do that.
You know, he can play two.
I don't know they can have that limited amount of practice and still perform the way that they need to.
That's what.
Like if you get an 8, 10, 12 year vet, you can do that. I know guys that don't practice at all, and they still ball out.
Oh, that's what I said. We don't like we do. We have our training camp, and then from there it's just we're playing 4 games a week. We don't have time to scout. Golden State, San Antonio, we just going out there playing by principle.
I think it's a different kind of game, though.
But see, that's what I said. Your game would be faster. But I'm just looking at because you guys are practicing sometimes like you're playing in a game, but you're not getting paid for it. Yeah. So if you just say, we're gonna take these practices, just do no pad practice once a week, 2 actual games, that means your contracts automatically double off the jump. Because you guys get paid. That's what we get paid. We get paid for games, not
practice.
Sure.
So now you're playing 30-some games, which you're doing anyway. You're just not.
You got to remind coaches that sometimes. I don't get paid for Wednesday.
I had to learn that
Sunday.
toward the end because I used to love to practice. You know what I mean? I practice hard, but then sometimes you get little nagging injuries and you just want to practice. You want to just fight through it, and then so then my coaches had to tell me because they started to see that I was more valuable on Sundays than I was during the week. So my coach had to tell you, look, do we play today or do we play Sunday?
Yeah,
exactly.
And this is a case-by-case basis, though, because the young guys, it's hard. You get a rookie first-round offensive tackle that's never played in the NFL, and he's played against guys that were okay in college.
Right.
And he practices one time that week, and then he has to go out and block Von Miller.
He get cooked.
On Sunday.
It's a man's game. That's the thing. That's why you've never seen a guy go from high school in football to pros.
Yeah.
Because it's a man's game. It's not an easy transition. So it's a different sport. But I do see where you come.
Oh yeah, this would be a wrap.
Right.
I just look at the money thing. Like you guys. Whew.
I mean,
It's tough.
It's fucking tough.
I mean, you're talking about arenas 100,000. That, oh my God.
But I think you look at
Like you have guaranteed contracts at 200 if you guys did it that way.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm happy Kirk Cousins was able to pull off what he got accomplished. I think it can change the conversation for the future.
Dude, I'm telling you, NFL makes more money than I think NBA and baseball together.
Yeah.
Billions. And they trying to say that they can't pay or they're not willing to pay guys guaranteed.
See, that's what they said. They're not willing.
And
like you said,
because they said they think it takes away the hunger of.
But you guys got the power, bro. I'm telling you, if you guys like yourself and the people in the positions of power like your Brady's, if you guys have a collective meeting, you guys have all the leverage because there's so much TV revenue, money in itself. Again, if you guys don't play, then somebody gonna have to pay the piper.
For sure.
That's what you see by what's so funny with all the kneeling. You see how it kind of actually hurt the NFL.
Right.
Just something simple. Even though y'all still going out there playing, just a little gesture hurt the brand so bad.
Right. I'm telling you, it's take my advice, but I'm telling you.
Start organizing that.
See, that's what I'm saying. With NBA,
get them striking.
See, with NBA, they don't even attempt to do it.
Right, but the thing is, it's going to be a little bit of a sacrifice. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, some guys, you got to budget your money. I guarantee you it's not going to last long. The owners are going to fold.
They missed three games. All 3 games are done.
That's the thing. I mean, because we've had those conversations over the years. That's the problem with that is guys that live outside of their means, and everybody has to buy into it. You're going to have guys that don't quite want to do that because they can't go without those checks.
But then there's got to be they don't get on social media talking about what the NBA makes, what the MLB makes.
I'm with you.
You see, y'all got
Keep
too many
making your
people.
pennies.
Y'all got too many people to
It's a lot of people.
reel in.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
But that's what I said. Y'all should just take out half the votes. Just 3 captains from each team, the top notch. They make all the decisions.
Right, I'm telling you.
If everybody else want to fight,
Or you guys just picked the wrong sport.
That could be.
Even basketball players.
Y'all got the height. Well, I don't know about T.O. until he get cooked on his ISO by me. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
Cap, you got it.
Keeping it locked with football. We're learning.
No, you a motherfucking dummy. Fucking dummy.
You interrupted my setup.
Sorry, he was fucking dummy.
All right, keep it locked with football. We're learning more and more about the demeaning and sexist rules for NFL cheerleaders. So last week we kind of talked about this in the wake of the complaint brought about by the former New Orleans State cheerleader, but the New York Times reviewed 7 handbooks for NFL cheerleading squads and put the archaic practices on blast. So again, this is stemming from what the Saints cheerleader kind of exposed about the double standards between cheerleaders and football players, but some of the rules that the Times exposed included the fact that the Cincinnati Bengals, which is a terrible name, are required to be within 3 pounds of their ideal weight. While pay a little more than minimum wage, some cheerleaders have to pay hundreds of dollars for their uniforms or buy calendars they're required to pose for and sell to recoup the money. Some teams forbid them from wearing sweatpants in public. Restrictions are placed on their nail polish and jewelry, and they're forbidden, like we talked about last week, from fraternizing with players. They can't speak to them. They can't seek their autographs. They can't follow them on social media. They have to block them. And there was that example with the Saints cheerleaders that if they see a football player walk into a restaurant that they're at, they're supposed to get up and leave the restaurant.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, how bad of a look is this for the NFL that these rules keep coming out that are so double-standard and so one-sided in favor of the players compared to the cheerleaders?
Again, it's a thing of control.
Yeah.
Double standard, really?
Yeah. You guys can do whatever the hell you want. The cheerleaders are so restricted.
We're making millions of dollars. We're the talent. Okay, their atmosphere.
But they're helping glorify your sport at the same time.
It's atmosphere. It's like that playing in the club.
But it adds to the entertainment.
It adds to the club value, but at the end of the day, no one's coming there to see the.
But Gil, it adds to the entertainment of everything. Like T.O. said, it adds to everything.
No one's
the atmosphere.
Is there a band?
Redskins have a ban.
Redskins, but time out. One of the greatest moments in NFL history is when you scored in San Francisco and took the pom-poms and started doing. So if the cheerleaders weren't there, we wouldn't have had that moment.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can't.
I'll guarantee you they remember him for the pom-poms, not the girl he took it from.
But T.O., if you got the cheerleaders fired because you took them pom-poms according to these
but
rules.
probably got a lot of hype behind that.
But that's their contract.
FaceTime, all of that.
But that's not their contractor. So with contracting, you have rules. And those rules is don't distract the players. Like if I'm the organization, my players are the most important thing. So I'm not going to have outside contractors distracting them.
You'd be a terrible owner, dog.
What I'm saying is, obviously, men are going to, we look at the cheerleaders. Now I got 3 or 4 fighting over the same cheerleaders. Now there's beef in my organization on my team because of this cheerleader.
Right, that can happen. That can happen outside of the cheerleaders. What happened? What happened was that with Jason Kidd and
Tony Braxton.
But that's what I'm saying. But these are workers every day with you.
It doesn't matter.
It's not every day. It's not every day.
Yeah,
we don't see them every day.
Every day. No,
we don't
see them every day.
Like but they're outside contract. They're not like employee. It's just like something same with the workplace.
Why treat them any different, dog?
I think it is.
So you're saying if a cheerleader get $1 million, you'll be fine?
Right, if she deserves it.
So when I get this $200.
So what I think is happening is, so y'all are arguing two different areas.
$200.
So like Gil's point, I see what you're saying is like you don't want to get into a situation where there's fraternization between the cheerleaders and players and it causes a rift on the team.
I get that. Team, like we don't.
If that's the case, that would be the case in high school and college.
Of course.
Why don't you see it in?
Because there's money involved.
There's money involved.
Those players are not getting
right.
money.
Yes, it is.
Like they need to get paid more.
What do you mean?
The cheerleaders, they get paid more.
They get paid more. That's fine. I'm just saying like the rule. I don't want your cheerleaders talking to the players.
Overall,
that's one of the rules that you agree with. But there's a lot more in there that they don't have to lead a restaurant. If I could, they're just making it a point to say, listen. And we don't want our top player talking to you. He gets you pregnant now. That's what they're afraid of. They're trying to protect their investment.
There's other things to be getting, ticky-tacky about, you know what I mean? But like you said it's about the money. So like you said, in high school and in college, those guys get in situations with cheerleaders or whatever, it's affecting their play, especially if you're a star player, then ultimately that's affecting the university.
Yeah. Have we gotten to a point yet where cheerleaders should just be gone in the
NFL? I think they should be paid more.
You know what? Y'all want to talk about sexist? What sexist is? There's no male cheerleaders. How about that?
The LA Rams just started having. They just got male cheerleaders.
Yeah, exactly. Get up on your game, dog. Yeah. Get up on your social media. Yeah.
They just started.
Yes.
What, you want to try out?
Yeah.
Want to try out? LA Rams male cheerleaders?
Yeah. I was just trying to prove a point. So you telling me there's
cheerleaders now.
Yeah.
Male cheerleaders.
And there's male cheerleaders in college.
Yeah. Well, in college.
In college, you're just trying to get to the girl. We already know that one.
That's right. But NFL, they got okay. All right.
I'm trying to figure out how to do this one.
You're trying to say it without getting in trouble.
Your comments are already.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
So there's actual. They got hired.
They got hired. They made a press release. It's the first.
You know what?
You got
a lot of San Francisco.
Save it. No.
No. Rams, right down the street.
You got a lot of women gonna be hating you right now.
When they watch comments are flooded.
Way too late. Way too late. Sorry. Sorry to have Wait. Cap, take it over, bro.
Save it for Instagram. Save it for Instagram. Save it for Instagram. Okay.
Hey, real quick.
But that is sexist.
You're a betting man, right?
Yeah.
Over under 2 p.m. he has a rant on Instagram about the LA male cheerleaders.
2 p.m.
I'm just saying, dog.
11 a.m. Pacific time.
Come on, dog.
I don't know if they. I think they try it out.
Contract.
You definitely not.
Don't fraternize with the player.
You're not an equal opportunist. You got you, Bill.
Oh boy,
he's a wild one.
One more football story to get to.
He is a wild one.
And we have one more football story to get to.
You better not be wearing sweats. I can tell you that.
But
I'm at the Hooters.
The great part is that he shut his spiral and was like, I'm about to make an excellent point. And it just did not happen for him.
It backfired.
It backfired tremendously. Cap, take it away. Yeah, he's up. Oh, I'm ready. I'm about to shut him down. No, sir.
Oh,
sorry.
my God.
Cap, take it over.
All right, last football story to get to today. We have another absurd rookie interview question to ridicule. And this one comes from Ohio State linebacker Jerome Baker, who could be a second or third round pick in this April's draft. He told Justin Mello of DraftWire that an NFL coach asked him in an individual interview how he would respond if the coach punched him in the face. So this continues an absurd NFL tradition over the last few years that's kind of come to the forefront about coaches trying to get under guys' skin. And obviously there's a famous example of your boy, Des Bryant, being asked if his mother was a prostitute, but I think the Dolphins was the one
Jeff Ireland
asked him, yes. Yeah. So the quote from Baker, his account was, quote, "To me, being from Cleveland, my natural reaction was, Coach, no disrespect, but if you punch me in the face, we're going to fight right here. That was just my natural response. I guess that's what he wanted to hear because he said, good. It was definitely a fun interview. I didn't get asked too many weird questions." But like we just keep hearing more and more absurd things that these coaches are asking. Did you ever get ridiculous questions during your interview process?
Nah. I damn sure asked me nothing like that. I think the thing when I was coming, I was like talking about like weed. So they asked me, "Do you smoke weed?" Nope. That was it.
Just dead it right there.
Yeah, it was a guy in there with me that was like, "Yeah, I tried it a few times." And I looked at him like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? You're stupid." But other than that, nah. This is something that's gotten, I think, kind of picked up over the last few years. Just a lot of deep, crazy questions.
Have you heard?
Is it with receivers? Receivers? Is it?
No,
are they doing certain positions?
That's Brian's question, but
that was crazy. But like, even with Darius,
had a problem.
I'd have lost it. I'd have lost it.
But that's what I'm saying.
I never got any.
You never got absurd questions during the interview
I don't
process?
even remember the comeback. I wouldn't really, but it went by so fast.
But the sad part is you're getting prepped for this. Is what I don't understand why they're still doing it. You're getting prepped for this. Like they're gonna ask you these dumbass questions, and then you get in there and they ask you the dumb. Like what are they expecting you to do?
maybe a reaction, I guess.
know.
But
you had that story about Lamar Odom being asked about the handshakes.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like we already know that was coming up, so he shook his hand and then wiped it off like, oh, black, But Lamar was like, kept it moving. Like I already know what you're trying to do, dickhead. So it's like,
Yeah.
But I mean, what would have happened? I mean, just say Dez Bryant got asked that question about his mom being a prostitute. Now, what would have happened if Dez Bryant would have just haymakered this dude?
But you know how it would have been. The media would have been all over him and destroying him.
Right. Would he have been wrong?
No, he wouldn't have been wrong. But you know how it is in media.
I get that, but I mean, these are absolutely absurd questions that has nothing really to do with football.
It's another double standard because, they're looking for character flaws in these guys, but, how fucked up is it that you're asking that kind of question?
Right, that says more about your character.
That's a character flaw at 2021. Yeah, you're going to find a character flaw for a young kid who's just coming into the...
You got a potentially 50-plus-year-old man asking a guy, what would you do if I punch you in the face?
Right.
Like, I'd knock your ass out.
Exactly. And it's like we talked in the green room. Like, these teams can't talk when you had a coach in an office with no furniture snorting cocaine. It's like, bro, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Wilding out.
Let's just start asking them questions.
Just flip
What
it.
if I just... You came home from work and caught me dicking down your wife. I want to see your reaction.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
Like, seriously.
Oh,
come on
man.
with the dumbass questions.
I'm not going to lie. He looked at me like this was personal. And I was like, wait, what?
Dicking down your wife. Giving a long john. Huh? How would you feel? Huh?
Wait, in your pre-draft interviews, you never got questions like that.
Look, I was 31, okay? I was the bottom of the dump. They didn't ask me shit.
Yeah, we got to give you some more self-confidence, bro.
I'm pretty,
You're talking about 30.
I'm the same
I don't
way.
even know if they asked me my name.
I can't even remember either. That's what I'm saying. I don't even
But you
remember.
got prepped by your guys to, what to expect.
Yeah, because I was going to be a first rounder,
Yeah.
okay? Once I went 30, there was no questions, okay? They didn't ask me shit. Oh, no, I did get asked something.
What?
Stupid shit. Would you rather hit the game-winning shot, make the game-winning assist?
We know what you chose. We know what you chose.
I figured he was trying to outthink me, so I said I want to get the last game-winning rebound. I said, what do you mean? I said, because it takes effort to get a rebound.
That's good. That's
It takes
pretty
effort
good.
to get the rebound.
That's a good one.
It's me versus them 9.
That's pretty.
He's like, oh, okay. That's different. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Hey, that's pretty.
What team was that?
Huh? Go to State.
Oh, and they took it.
all right, there you go.
It worked out.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what's up.
And I ain't get a rebound there. Just give me the bucket.
You had Danny Fortson pushing you out the way for you.
Yeah.
That's what's-
Obviously, I want to hit the game winning. Let's see Jordan. Okay. I knew you wanted to ask that because I'm black.
Oh, man. Duane, T.O. has been up with us all week, so he knows what to expect. How do you feel being on Out of Bounds today?
It's amazing.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
We're a little bit different over here.
Oh, yeah. Barbershop
thing.
talk, man.
Yeah, I'm
I
with
like
it, man.
I like it.
I like it.
I'm proud of this guy, man. I mean, because we worked out last year. This
Yeah.
guy wasn't on the team.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in there grinding every day at Unbreakable.
Yeah.
I mean, I was shocked that this guy wasn't on the roster.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Well, I was holding out.
Well, that too,
Trying
but
to
I
get
mean,
my-
rightfully so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Understanding.
Go get your dough.
Understanding. Like, yeah.
That we talked about earlier.
Exactly what we talked about earlier. Like, we in the NFL, we try to maximize the most money that we can with the limited amount of time that we have. Because, I mean, injuries can happen at any time. So, again, like I said, this guy was in there grinding. You know what I mean? So, I'm proud, happy for you, bro.
My dog. Happy for you too, man. We had plenty of conversations about why the hell was he not in the Hall of Fame. Like, we talked about that maybe 3 times throughout the year, and I just couldn't believe it.
Easily should have been the first ballot.
They finally came to the
First
census.
ballot. And it's like, and that's, you know, it goes back to, again, people's perception.
My theory is the marketing behind it. I think they wanted to get you in with Randy so they can have people watch the Hall of Fame speech. But you know, that's just my theory.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Exactly.
We'll see who T.O. flames in that Hall of Fame.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Man.
I can't wait. Definitely gonna have my popcorn ready for it. For Adam Caparell, Duane Brown, Terrell Owens, Gilbert Arenas, I'm Pierce Simpson. This is Out of Bounds, and we'll see you tomorrow.
We're trying to put a list together, T.O., for Complex Sports about all the guys that you should flame in your Hall of Fame speech.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have that come out either Thursday or Friday.
Oh, I'm ready.
Give it to me.
You know, T.O. ain't gonna flame nobody.
Stop it. I feel like Chris Carter's gonna get flamed by both Randy and T.O. during the Hall of Fame speech.
Bill Polian's going to get
Oh,
flamed.
you know, he might be first.
Bill Polian first
Got
on
some
the list.
Cowboys personnel.
Nah, they gonna
members
take
that's
the high
get flamed.
road. They gonna take the high road. That's the high road.
it's gonna be
You
amazing.
got your gold jacket. Fuck them all.
Exactly.
They
They
can't
can't take that away from you.
Fuck 'em all.
That'll fit me, baby. Don't give me the gold.
Who you going on?
Everybody. Oh my God.
Who else was talking?
Oh, where's this organization?
Harrison?